Welcome to this week's Twab, this week at Bungie, January 28, 2021. We're going to go through and see what's in the Twab today. Let's be positive now, all right? I haven't read this yet. I'm about to read this. This is my reaction. There's no one else's reaction. I don't know what's in there. Okay? Here we go. This week at Bungie, we introduce seasonal challenges. This already sounds good. All right. Welcome to second to last Twab of the season of the hunt. Many of you have been navigating the secrets of the Harbinger mission, uncovering randomly rolled hawk moons and earning the Radiant Accipiter exotic ship. Content-wise, we're coming to a close for the season, and we're incredibly excited for what's to come in just a few short weeks. We've been covering some upcoming quality of life changes to Destiny 2, like the return of Umbral engrams, but it's almost time to take a peek at fresh content. Season of the Redacted trailer goes live on February 2nd, 2021. I don't know, I feel like that's a little bit late, but it's whatever. Before we get there, we have a new feature to cover, seasonal challenges, and around the weapon focused sandbox changes to walk through. As a warning, this is a pretty large amount of information in a small space. We've joked about meaty twabs before, but this one may feel a bit overwhelming if you rush through it. Let's take it slow, step by step, and get through it together in one piece. Hey, that's my favorite manga / anime. Nice. I'm glad Bungie, knows about that. Here we go. Introducing seasonal challenges. Over the last year, we've been looking at ways in which we can reduce the amount of FOMO, aka fear of missing out in Destiny 2. We recently made some changes to seasons and how seasonal content is available throughout a given year of Destiny 2. This week, we're looking to bounties and bright dust, introducing a new system not only to remove the fear of missing out, but give fresh ways to earn XP and alternate rewards. All right, I don't want to be negative here. This is my hot take. Why give us seasonal models anymore if there's no fear of missing out? Okay, just think about that. Maybe someone has an answer for me. What is the point of having a seasonal model if there's no fear of missing out? Shouldn't we just go back to the original big DLCs and we have it for maybe 9 months or so? All right. I don't want to be mean here. I just want to ask, what is the point of seasons now? What is going to make a season different if there's no fear of missing out? Maybe someone has an answer for me. Leave it in the comments, please. It'll be awesome. All right. To walk us through the ins and outs of seasonal challenges, we pass the mic to the development team. Dev team. During production of Beyond Light, we start looking at the problems of bounty fatigue and fear of missing out, as well as seasonal legibility. What's in the season and how do I engage with it when I log in? We created a few goals when we believe will improve the experience. All right, let's see. Provide a guide to new, returning, and veteran players for what to do today or this week. Guide the player through the seasonal content week over week. Okay. Yeah, you motherfuckers call me negative, all right? But this sounds like a drip feed. We're already being drip fed. So now we're gonna get a guide that tells us how to be drip fed. Okay, hey man. All right, here we go. It's gonna guide the player through the seasonal content week over week. Encourage players to engage with complexities and nuances of the seasonal activity and rituals. Reducing the penalty on XP and the bright dust for missing a given week. Okay. Another hot take, seasonal activity. I hope that we go back to like the 6-man matchmaking activity, because I feel like Sundial was awesome, Menagerie was awesome, Vex Offensive was awesome. Right now we just have like right now we have Ratborn hunts, and I feel like once people like maxed it out and they got the gun that they wanted, they're not doing it anymore. I haven't done a Ratborn hunts in a long time. After I got the ship from that mission too, I haven't done anything. So is that really a seasonal activity? I don't know, right? I thought seasonal activity meant replayability, which is why the whole reason they're trying to give us content week over week is to make you play the game again. All right, just look at it from my point of view, okay? Seasonal activity should be something that I can play throughout the season, not just something that I play and then I'm done with it and there's nothing else for me to do, And then like, I haven't seen the week to week content yet, but does that mean that they're gonna force me to like do only one thing one week and do another thing another week? Because that's not, I don't know about that either, right? So The thing is, there are players that just want to get in and get out, right? There's players that just want to like power through the freaking content, and then, you know, they go play other games and then come back and then do more, right? Now, maybe someone that plays 2 hours a week or something like that, maybe 6 hours a week, that's cool, the week over week. Maybe the people just do it on the weekend. But it's just weird to have it to where like it's supposed to be seasonal activity, but it's something like rap war hunts. That's all I'm saying. I'd rather like get like, hey, match made, 6-man activity. You go in there, your chance of failing are very low. You can still get it completed. I don't know if you ever played in a Sundial season, but that's what it was like. And then there was like a, you know, a hard mode for it, you know, like, and people, that one had matchmaking taken off, right? So you need to like your group of 6 to go in there and do it. Hopefully that's something like that. Okay. To solve these goals, we're introducing a new pursuit type for players, seasonal challenges. The seasonal challenges live on their own page or accessed through the quest log or season pass, and are separated by week. Okay. So here's the thing. Are they going to allow us to like, can I click on week 2 and do some of the stuff for week 2 in advance? Like, can I do that? And then like the next week comes around and it's going to be done? I don't know. Right. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to click on this. Can I see this bigger? All right. So week 1, it says complete weekly playlist. On Europa, earn progress by something. Caliber kinetic weapons. Complete gambit matches. First of power. Dominance. Okay. I'm going to say this. This looks like bounties, except instead of you having to go pick them up, you now have them as a challenge. Does that make sense? What are the rewards? Because right now all I see is I see bright dust here, and I think up here I see like maybe purple. Maybe that's a legendary engram. But like, is this also going to be tied to maybe triumph score? I feel like for a veteran that like is a completionist, we're only going to do this if this is tied up to triumph score. Do I really need bright dust that much? And then how much bright dust am I getting? Like I said, I don't know. We'll wait for her to come out because it's going to come out anyway. And we might like it. I don't know. If we're going to have to do the same things we've been doing on each planet, like, you know, or going to Gambit and doing like what we do weekly. Is that really new? You know, is that new? Here's a quick breakdown on how this feature will work. Oh, so we have a breakdown here. Cool. Every week for the first 10 weeks of the season, between 3 and 10 new challenges appear automatically for players. Some of the challenges deal with the seasonal content. Other push players to complete strikes, Gambit in the Crucible, or to focus on non-activity focused Destiny rituals like gaining power, unlocking seasonal artifact mods, or improving guns and armor. These challenges can only be completed once per account, but once they become available, these challenges can be completed at any time before the end of the season and do not need to be started or picked up from a vendor. As an example, if a player doesn't play for week 2 through 4, they can return on week 5 and have all those challenges waiting for them. Okay. So then I guess that's the whole point of having them, the fear of missing out. That means like, if you haven't freaking like touched that yet, you come back and do it. But then like as a hardcore player, why would I touch that right now? Why wouldn't I just wait until like, you know, it's maybe like week 8, week 9, and then I could just do all of that at once? I don't know. I guess this is nice. Complete each challenge, award XP, contributing to your season pass rank. Other rewards could be bright dust, seasonal currency, and or other interest in item. Okay, so maybe they put stuff in there, maybe a ship, maybe a ghost. I don't know what, I mean, I saw like, it looks like this was like a legendary engram, right? I don't know what that is. That looks like a lighter color. Okay. I'm moving away from weekly bounties, which were restricted to broad objectives tied to ritual activities. We have taken more leeway with creating some interesting or more difficult challenges. These may be things you're already doing or things that test your abilities. Some examples include defeating primeval envoys in Gambit. Why you guys thought I would Gambit, bro? Fine. Okay. Gambit's all right. Defeating enemies in Nightfall. They were dealt with seasonal weapons. Gaining infamy of valor ranks. Acquiring the ritual weapon and its cosmetic ornaments. Winning rounds in Trials of Osiris. Completing a Grandmaster Nightfall. Not all the challenges require that level of accomplishment, but the harder or longer the challenge is, the more experience it rewards. Oh, hey, I like this. All right. I've been talking about this. I was like, the higher something is, or the more, not the more skill, the more challenging something is, the more XP you should get, right? So if you go into Nightfall and you do like the heroic, you should get more XP in a master than a heroic. You should get more XP in a grandmaster than a master Nightfall. Or like you should get more XP in trials because it's end game crucible than quick play, right? Comp should give more XP than quick play because they're two different tiers, right? So this might be nice, right? Challenges that focus on a seasonal activity and ritual mostly need the season pass to complete, but most of the ritual focused challenges can be completed without the season pass. Overall, roughly 60% of the seasonal challenges do not require the season pass. With the changes above, we are removing weekly bounties from the 3 ritual vendors, Zavala, Shax, and Drifter, Banshee, and the seasonal vendor. These vendors will still have daily bounties which reward XP, and the 3 ritual vendors will still have repeatable bounties for those of you who want to pursue additional XP in Bright Dust. Lastly, most of the challenges disappear after the season they were introduced, and anything that isn't claimed will be lost. We don't add any new challenges after week 10. We should give everyone a few weeks to clean up any challenges that didn't finish, any challenges that reward a unique or seasonal item, currencies, lore books, seasonal weapons, etc. can be completed as long as the seasonal activity is in the game. But XP awarded for completing the challenge will only be available during the season it was introduced. Okay. I don't know if maybe Triumph score is tied to this. So that means most of the seasonal activities are going to be around for a year. So that means that next season, if I don't do all the stuff from that season, the season after, I can still go back and get it, but I won't get the XP or the reward. All right. Let's talk about Bright Dust. Back before Beyond Light launch, we discussed some of the goals around the changes to Bright Dust. As a refresher, we wanted to change the way you earn Bright Dust and move more towards account-specific paths to give players with only one character significantly more Bright Dust than they've been earning over the last year. In Season 13, we'll be continuing to move towards these goals by adding Bright Dust onto seasonal challenges. Since you no longer have to purchase weekly rituals, each of the Strike, Crucible, and Gambit season challenges will reward 75 and 300 Bright Dust. We are also introducing an end-of-season Bright Dust bonus. If you complete nearly all of the seasonal challenges, we are awarding a single 4,000 Bright Dust pile. Nice. Additionally, each ritual vendor challenge, complete 8 bounties, award 120 Bright Dust for each character who completed each week. I mean, I'm probably going to do the first 5 weeks for each character just because of the vendors having armor, right? But I don't know if with the new system, because I know that Shax might change. We'll see. And because this is prompted by removal of weekly bounties, the only seasonal challenges that will be awarded Bright Dust are the ones that both season pass owners and free players can complete. Here's a quick breakdown of how much Bright Dust you should expect to earn over the course of Season 13. All right, seasonal challenges Bright Dust, all players. Free seasonal activities 6,000, seasonal extra 4,000, so the total of 10K. Season pass Bright Dust, free path 7,500 all players. Pay path 3,000 players who own season pass, so the total would be 10,500 Bright Dust. Weekly ritual vendor challenges Bright Dust, all players, 120 Bright Dust per ritual vendors per character per week, 14,040 total of completing all required weekly challenges over the course of Season 13. Okay. Additionally, we still plan to offer weekly and repeatable Bright Dust bounties for seasonal events, giving you a bit more Bright Dust towards desired rewards. As a final note, please be sure to claim all seasonal challenges that reward Bright Dust prior to the end of a season. Once the season ends, associated challenges and Bright Dust rewards will expire and can no longer be claimed. It's always decided when we bring a new feature online for Destiny 2. We hope that the changes detailed above make it easier to create goals to complete each week. As always, we're eager to hear your feedback once you start finishing your first seasonal challenges, so please sound off with your thoughts. All right. Next, we got the sandbox. I love sandbox changes. Let's see. Every season, we have a collection of changes to Destiny 2 sandbox to spice things up a bit. This season, we're making some targeted changes to weapon archetypes that need some love, as well as beginning some preparation for crossplay. Dev team, in preparation for crossplay coming later this year, we're making some changes to the recoil stat. Currently, several weapons archetypes have their recoil reduced by around 40%, depending on archetype, when using mouse and keyboard. This result in an issue where players on mouse and keyboard are able to largely ignore the stability weapon stat, creating unintended discrepancies in weapon performance between controller and mouse and keyboard. I feel like that's any game, right? Because the mouse, when it comes to stability, why do you have to worry about stability on a mouse? Hey, you know what? I don't know what to tell you. Mouse and keyboard and controller are two different inputs. They should have pros and cons to using each. I don't get it. The following weapon archetypes will have their mouse and keyboard recoil adjusted to controller. So now we're turning mouse and keyboard recoil into controller. This is going to be weird. Can't wait to see it. Auto rifle, scout rifle, pulse rifle, submachine guns, hand cannons, and machine guns. Reduce the difference from 40% to 20%. In the case of pulse rifles, submachine guns, and machine guns, we will also be introducing some buffs. In some cases, these weapons will have less recoil across both controller and mouse and keyboard input methods compared to what's in the game today. Submachine guns are largely outclassed by auto rifles at medium range and by sidearms at short range. With player feedback often mentioning how hard they are to control, to address this feedback, we're introducing the following change. Reduce camera movement from firing a submachine gun by 24%. Pulse rifles with the mouse and keyboard changes were kicking a little too much. Reduce camera movement from firing a pulse by 7%. Machine guns with mouse and keyboard were kicking a little too much. Reduce camera movement from firing a machine gun by 9.5%. A lot of this stuff doesn't even seem like it's going to be changing much for me, even though I'm working on mouse and keyboard. I feel like something is going to break. But hey, fingers crossed, man. I hope this works out the way they planned it. They might be testing it right now on Stadia or whatever platform they test it on. We will see. We will pay close attention to how these changes play out when they go live, and plan to revisit individual archetypes in a future update as needed. Outside of recoil adjustments, we will also be tuning a few weapon archetypes in Season 13. Looking through back-end data and community feedback, we land on the following. Rocket launchers have fallen behind other heavy weapons in most measures of effectiveness. We're pushing them more into burst damage rolls. Increase rocket launcher damage by 30%. You know what that means, right? Go get that Europa rocket launcher. It is a precision rocket launcher. They do the most damage. Go get you that. Don't listen to what anyone says about adaptives. Here's how it goes. It goes from precision rocket launchers to aggressive rocket launchers, and then the rest are like doo-doo. Okay, that's the play. Now, exotic rocket launchers have been adjusted individually and are affected by this change to different degrees. I hope that they talk about that more later, because that means that Deathbringer is probably going to be the meta, but we'll see. Paired with the buffs to reserves from last season, we're hoping you explode many more things in Season 13. Okay, hear me out here, Bungie, if you're watching this, please. What happened to just having 2 in a mag, 3 in a mag? What's going on? You guys have grenade launchers just holding, what, 7 if you have backup mag? And that's way more burst damage. So I just don't know. I really don't know. We'll see. Fusion rifle usage is very low. It is because charge time. The damage doesn't equal out to how much charge time it is. If fusions are going to one-shot people in Crucible anyway, buff them for PvE. I don't know. All right. Usage is very low, and they feel like an unreliable choice in Crucible compared to shotguns in Crucible. I died of fusions in Crucible. People just recharge them. Increased fusion rifle damage, fall off start distance based on range stat. 6% with 0 range, 16% with 100 range. Why do I feel like Telesto is going to be doing some crazy things again? Reduce camera movement from firing a fusion rifle by 9.5%. Breach grenade launcher usage is very low outside of mountaintop. We believe part of the reason is that the loop of the hold the trigger to arm then release a detonate is challenging to execute. Challenging? What? I used Final Line for the longest time. It has like almost like, I don't know, probably 60,000 kills, bro. It's easy to just hold and release, right? It's called muscle memory. Maybe I'm going crazy. Particularly since projectiles can bounce off targets if the trigger is held. That's the whole point. You hold the trigger, you don't release it, it's just gonna go through the target. Breach grenade launcher projectile will now detonate on impact with a character even if they're holding the trigger. So what's the point of them being hold and release grenade launchers? Maybe I'm just an idiot. You know what? Let's not have anything challenging to use in the game. All right. This is just going to break Crucible. All right. Now people are just going to run around with truth tellers. You don't need proximity anymore because it's going to detonate on the person. I don't know about that, but we'll see. Maybe I'm just an idiot and maybe I'm just toxic, but you should just let people get good instead of just giving them easy things to use. All right, next, sniper. Whoa, yo, why do I see nerf when I see sniper? Why are you nerfing snipers? I bet not see no PvE nerf right here, son. Like, let me drink some water real quick. Let me read this. While sniper rifle usage has dropped in Crucible, we observed that it's hard to challenge someone with a sniper rifle. Even if you get the first shot on enemy, they can often respond and win the fight. Increase ADS flinch to snipers when taking damage from other players. Swords are extremely dominant in PvE. Bro, yo. There's only one sword. Come on, son. Yo. Bro, there's two swords. There's one exotic sword called the Lament that goes through wizards that sent you flying. And there's the Falling Guillotine. You can't say swords when there's only two of them. At this time, 65 players are using swords of the majority of gameplay encounters in Destiny 2. While we're introducing a buff to rocket launchers to make them a bit more enticing, we feel that swords do too much damage compared to other options. There's not too many legendary options in the game, Bungie. Swords are literally the only legendary option to use in the heavy slot. And when I mean swords, I mean one legendary one called Falling Guillotine. Reduce sword damage by 15%. You're only hurting two swords. Lament is not consistent. Lament yeets you through things. I got yeeted doing Last Wish. Like the boss like yeeted me like so far. It was like the... Sorry, I gotta be positive. I'm sorry, I found nothing positive about this fucking change. Okay, there's nothing positive about this. And if you're gonna defend this, tell me what other swords you have used in the game besides Lament and Guillotine. Leave that in the comments while you call me negative. Thank you. Exotic changes and bug fixes. Some exotic weapons lose their buff when you switch weapons, which is intended. They will also lose their buff when pulling out your ghost shell, which is not intended. Fix that issue on weapons. Oh my. Oh my. When you pull out your ghost shell, what about when you get on your Sparrow or... You know, I'll take it. Ace of Spades, Terrible Hawkmoon. Borealis and Harlight now have a custom quite short animation for switching damage type. That is freaking awesome. I like that. I'm gonna clap for it. I like that because I like using Borealis. Harlight, not really, but I like using Borealis. Duality, increase damage fall off distance by 1.25 meter while both firing from the hip and aiming down sights. Reduce maximum buff stacks from 7 to 5. Each stacks now grant a more of a damage bonus. Extended buff duration slightly. Stern will once again reload any equipped special slot weapons on kill, provided the special weapon clip isn't full already and there's available reserve ammo. Fix an issue that was preventing Merciless from increasing his charge rate on non-lethal hits. All right. Now, one thing I kind of want to go back to, right? They spoke about fusion rifles. And they increased the fusion rifle damage fall off. But what happened to the magazine size? Fusions are holding like maybe 14. For Merciless, I feel like I maybe get like 12. Okay, let's keep going. And before we go, we are planning to take a quick tuning pass on Arbalest. This won't be ready in time for February 9th, but we're expecting to have this touch later in season 13. Now we know it can be difficult to understand the scale of buffs and nerfs. It can't be difficult for me because I play this shit like 24/7. And some of these don't make any sense without having these changes in your hands. Not to mention there will be some new perks for you to hunt as you start navigating content in Season of the Redacted. As always, we're excited to see these changes out in the wild on February 9th, and we'll be eager to hear your feedback. I can't wait. I don't feel like you hear my feedback, but we'll see. I don't know. Crimson Days. Each year, we look to February as a time to celebrate bonds of friendship throughout the community. Guardians have come to know celebration as Christmas Days. Christmas. All right, Christmas Days. I'm kidding. Crimson Days. It was one of our first seasonal events in Destiny 1, a tradition that we carried to Destiny 2. While there was great enjoyment of Crimson Days, we feel that it's been missing the mark in terms of quality over the last few years. Hold up. Why do I feel like they're about to do the same thing that they did to factions to Crimson Days? Okay, hear me out. I haven't even read it yet, but I feel like they're about to either take it away or like that means we're not going to hear from this ever again, because I feel like factions were a thing too, right? And okay, let me read. Maybe I'm just being like a douche. Okay. As such, we made a decision to discontinue Crimson Days moving forward. While we'll miss this event, this will allow us to maintain focus for alternate seasonal offering. Hear me out before you start bitching and I'm being negative. I'm guessing that they didn't want to put any weapons out for Crimson Days, right? Any weapons for you to earn, any sparrows, no like shader. So you'll be like, wait, they're gonna do it to give us more content, but that might have been the hot content, but that was still something for people to go after. You know, the sparrow, the ship, the shader, you know, the emblem, you know, that was still a thing. So I don't know. We have quite a bit planned for Season of the Redacted, and hope that we maintain or even improve the quality you come to expect from this upcoming release. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to hold Bungie to this. You see this right here? We have quite a bit planned for Season of the Redacted. We haven't heard shit from Bungie about the Season of the Redacted yet. We got like another week left. We haven't heard anything. But apparently there's quite a bit planned for us, all right? So I'm happy, I'm excited, because they told us there's a lot happening for us, okay? They're like, yo, we're gonna have a bunch of stuff for you, man. Like, are you excited? And I'm like, yeah, I'm excited, Bungie. You know, I'm fucking excited about what I don't even know I'm about to get. I am so happy, okay? I can't motherfucking wait to see it. All right? Now, our hope is that we maintain or even improve the quality you come to expect from our upcoming release. Some of you may be asking about the fate of Crimson Doubles, our once a year Crimson Days playlist. This mode is currently being shifted to the Destiny Content Vault, but may return in the future. Wow. Many thanks to every Guardian who has joined us over the years for this event. Crimson decorations may not be hung in the tower, but we have no doubt you'll continue to form Crimson bonds over the years to come. Okay. All right, let's go to the next part. Bug tracks. For those who may be new to the Twab, which is this week at Bungie, welcome to the Player Support Report. This section is dedicated to known issues, active investigations, and pending updates for Destiny 2. Our player support team navigates the health forums daily, collecting info on new issues. This is basically their team. I'm saying I called them. I'm saying I put in my stuff. I talk about it, and you know, they answer me. All right. So that's who I'm saying. That's who Bungie support is. Okay. They help us out. All right. Now, this is their report for the most frequently reported issues of the last week. Crucible tokens and fragment quests. Due to the updates of the vendor progression system, Crucible tokens and Crucible token gifts are no longer needed and will be deprecated. All right, deprecated. Okay, into junk that will delete as a full stack starting in season 13. Additionally, current stasis fragments will also be going away. Players are advised to turn in all Crucible tokens and Crucible token gifts and finish all available stasis fragments before Season 13 starts. While we continue investigating various known issues, here's a list of the latest issues that were reported to us in our help forum. Stasis abilities can be difficult to distinguish between enemy and friendly for colorblind players. Okay. The Double Trouble Triumph is unobtainable. In the Deepstone Crypt raid, the augment lockout timer occasionally resets during the final encounter against Tanix. During the final fight against the Sanctified Mind, the Garden Wall of Salvation raid, sometimes a shielded tether box can become tethered instead of the correct glowing tether box. Hunter leg clips through the 10 grab sword sparrow. I've never noticed that. In the Last Wish raid, the Suro Cheat puzzle room plates don't work if the Titan bubble or Warlock well are placed on them. The Titan phenotype plasticity helm eye clusters no longer glows red. I have never noticed that because that helmet is so tiny. Like I call it a little pea head. Weekly and daily elemental kill bounties have stopped rotating off a void. When overcharging grenades while using the Voidwalker top 3 subclasses, the Warlock super energy stops charging. For a full list of emergent issues in Destiny 2, players can review our known issue article. Players who observe other issues should report them to our help forum. And here we go, movie of the week. It's been fun watching Hawkmoon clips and montages throughout the season. With recently introduced random roles, players have been pushing the limits of this exotic, taking on 1v1 encounters in the Crucible that they may have otherwise avoided. I'm sorry to say this, but most players are using 120s. This week, our top pick not only got a sweet roll on perk, but a killer roll on audio too. Okay. And these are the movie of the week. We got Lullaby, 5 kills, 1 clip. Okay. We got the artist of the week. Oh yeah, I saw it. This is pretty dope. Yeah, it's pretty neat. All right, that's it for the week, folks. Season of the Redacted is almost here, but we still don't know about it. We'll have some patch previews to cover in the Twab next week, so stop by if you're interested. If this gets 7 likes, we'll add a new landing zone on Europa next season, but this already happened, so thank you. I guess we'll have a new landing zone. I've been complaining that we only have, 2 at the bottom that are like right next to each other, so this is pretty neat. Cheers, DMG04. Okay. That was the Twab. That was This Week at Bungie. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next week on This Week at Bungie. And, if you like the salt or the sugar, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate it. I'll see you next video. This shit is crazy, son.